Isn't it just so convenient that Robyn has this sudden awareness during her backyard breakup with Christine, but somehow doesn't seem to have the same insight when it's her turn at the picnic table with Kody and Mary? I mean, didn't Robyn practically brag about being the only one who could speak to Kody on behalf of everyone, even the kids? Yeah, someone's pants are definitely on fire here. I'm honestly just done with this hypocrite's endless lies. And then there's Aurora, who apparently thinks Robyn is the one who keeps the lines of communication open between the children and their mothers. Oh, okay. Robyn's the family mediator. Now that's the show we're watching, because from where I'm sitting, it's looking like a sitcom where everyone's pretending to be a happy, healthy family. Laughable, but hey, here's the silver lining in all of this. While we're still over here, analyzing the drama, the OJ are apparently living their best lives. The tragedy that hit this family is awful, and I truly wish them all the best. But let's be real, I don't see Kody and Robyn moving on anytime soon. Honestly, I'm not even sure if I'll tune into the next season. I'm so over it at this point. Robyn just keeps saying things that are so out of touch with reality. It's honestly insane. I do hope she's happy though. She won Kody after all. The man, the myth, the walking embodiment of backwards victimhood. Poor thing. I mean, she has to be miserable, right? She's really not looking good these days. We've got so much to dive into today. So let's not waste any time. Let's jump straight into it. Hey everyone, what's up? And welcome back to my channel. I'm so with you. Watching this scene unfold was like stepping into a reality show version of a circus, but with way more emotional baggage. Pristine announces she's leaving Kody and the other wives instead of supporting her. They're acting like she just told them she was switching teams. Mid-aim, it's infuriating how they're all acting so oblivious to the fact that Christine was clearly miserable and was being treated, let's call it suboptimally, by Kody. Seriously, why do they all think she needs to ask permission to leave? She's a grown woman with her own feelings and rights. It's almost like they don't see her as a person, just as some cog in the system that can't dare move without the whole machine breaking down. And Robyn's tears, please, she's crying about what exactly? The idea that someone might leave her precious little family arrangement girl. Your life is literally a fairy tale compared to everyone else's. You're treated like royalty by Kody. So spare me the crocodile tears. It's not like Christine is abandoning a cushy situation. She's leaving a toxic one. Good for her. I'm honestly thrilled she's getting out of that circus. I get the vibe though. Anytime someone in a group dynamic like a band or showcast decides to split, everyone's freaked out about how it'll affect them. Kody and Robyn seem more worried about the fallout for the show than for Christine's well-being. Mary's whole situation is another story. She probably feels some anger and resentment, mostly aimed at herself for staying too long, but also because she's been manipulated into staying. Seeing Christine actually have the guts to leave must have made it hit even harder for Mary, who likely feels stuck. It's tough because I don't think Mary ever truly wanted to leave, mostly because she didn't have anywhere to go. She's been cornered by Kody and Robyn, trapped in a dynamic where her options seem non-existent. Meanwhile, Kody and Robyn are all upset about their finances, worried about what losing Christine might mean for their little financial empire. It's so transparent. The other wives, especially Janelle, I think get it. Janelle supports Christine because she knows what it's like to be stuck. But Mary, she's probably thinking, why couldn't I just stick it out like Christine did? Here's the kicker in their world. These women aren't just marrying Kody. They are signing up for an eternity of this mess. It's not just about a lifetime commitment. It's about securing their place in the celestial heaven, which requires a man with at least 3 wives. So, of course, when Christine leaves, it's not just about her relationship with Kody. It's about her breaking the whole damn spiritual framework they've built their lives around. That's why it hits so hard for them. It's not just personal, it's doctrinal. But honestly, I'm just glad Christine got out. I'm all for anyone who can walk away from that kind of emotional and religious oppression. It's a tough world they're living in. But the second she stepped away, she reclaimed her agency. Everyone else, they'll figure it out. Eventually, maybe they'll thank her down the line for opening that door, even if they don't see it now. The moment I started yelling, "Shut up," Kody is a moving target. Honestly, the more I rewatch the earlier, I find myself losing patience with him. It's like every season he gets more insufferable. But if I had to pinpoint the first moment I wanted to reach through the screen and slap him, it'd probably be when he dropped that bombshell. I got a bomb to drop. I picked the dress. Oh, seriously, if I were Christine, I'd have seriously considered throat punching him on the spot. Like, how about you? Let your wives have one single moment of joy without trying to rain on it with your ego. But let's be real, there are many highlights of him being the worst. First, let's talk about his "I'm a repeat offender" line, really, Kody. You're just gonna throw that out there like it's not a big deal. And then the absolute peace to resistance, the time he screamed, "I did not, I did not, I did not," like a 9-year-old caught in a lie, watching that I was half expecting him to stamp his feet and throw himself on the floor in a tantrum. And let's not forget the cherry on top when Kody pitched a fit about Mary and Janelle going to the Women's March, claiming it didn't align with the family values, or some nonsense about it being an attack on polygamy. I mean, sure, why would your wives want to support women's rights or equality? Then what's his genius follow-up? He pressures the entire family to protest anti-polygamy laws in Utah, despite the fact that they could get arrested just perfect. So concerned about one issue, but apparently totally fine with risking everyone's freedom for a cause he deems important. Nice consistency there. Kody here, we go again. I'm watching season 6 right now, and it's just so hard to believe that these people can make the exact same mistake. Twice they're building houses in Vegas, and every episode has them stressing about how the family's been so separated since they moved from Utah, and they need to get into these houses to be a family. Again, it's basically an ongoing sermon on the importance of the older kids having a home to come back to fast forward 5 or 6 years. And they're doing exactly the same thing in Flagstaff. And surprise, surprise, they're all shocked that they feel like a disjointed family. Again, how on earth can 5 grown adults, all fully aware of the outcome, agree to repeat the exact same process? It's like they took their family, looked at it, and said, "Yeah, let's wreck this again. Why not?" They clearly tossed their family aside, and I'm just trying to figure out, did they know this would happen and it was some weird way out? Or are they all really this blind to the consequences? And don't get me started on Janelle. I get that Kody and Robyn are major culprits in this. But how does Janelle not let Gabe finish high school in Vegas? Why put your son through all this pain and upheaval just so Robyn can be close to her son in college? It just feels like Gab's needs weren't even a consideration, like the kids were never individuals. There were too many of them, and they got lost in the shuffle. It's painful to see how the kids were treated, especially since their dad never seemed to love them, as people just as trophies to show off his manliness. Nobody ever put the kids first, and it's honestly been heartbreaking to watch. I was just watching the episode where Aspen is questioning Christine about the move, and she's calling out the family for trying to fill some void. By moving, she's so right. Why couldn't they just be happy with what they had in Vegas? That cul-de-sac was the best thing for their family, and they had it all. So why throw it away? And don't you just love the little nugget they keep throwing out there? Like in 1 or 2 years, we'll build on the property. It's like a broken record. Oh, the level of cringe in some of those moments is next level for me. It's definitely the episodes from season 7 where they're scrambling to get investors. For my sister wife's closet, I can't even sit through it without wanting to crawl out of my skin. The awkwardness is just unbearable. And then there's Robyn, oh, Robyn freaking out about not being able to have another kid because she's overwhelmed by MSWC. Seriously, what work was she actually doing? They say in the meeting they've made what, 500 sales? 500, that's a drop in the bucket for a business. But somehow, she's too stressed out to have another baby. And then she pulls the ultimate power move on Mary, completely shutting her down for wanting to go to college, the way Robyn made Mary feel guilty for even thinking about furthering her education. All because of that disastrous jewelry line is just ridiculous. I can't even begin to imagine giving up my dream for that hideous MSWC jewelry. Yikes. Honestly, the most cringe-worthy moments are all Robyn-centric. Let's not forget her purity speech gag, or the date night, where she says, "He's my soulmate," while wearing that awful string ring. And then after Mary literally gives birth, Robyn suggests she be her surrogate, like what so many factors. But then, as if we haven't had enough, there's the part where Kody actually suggests that Yabel travel alone to New Jersey for that insanely painful, life-changing surgery, as if the poor girl wasn't already going through enough. It's honestly hard to believe some of the things they say on that show. So apparently, Janelle is finally done with Kody for good, at least according to some rag mag, which we're pretty sure came via Mykelti, because who else would be spilling the family tea these days? But let's be real, Janelle has always been all about her kids and her furies. So it's not like this is new information, a source who may or may not be. Mykelti claimed Janelle is now 100% focused on her kids, especially after all the bulls asterisk she's dealt with since separating from Kody in December 2022. The so-called source went on to say, "I know she's going to spend her life focusing on her kids. No more bulls asterisk wherever the kids go. Janelle will follow. She's made that very clear. Oh, and just in case you missed it, she's apparently checking in with them as much as possible physically. How sweet, right?" Meanwhile, Kody, well, apparently he's in a very dark place and really struggling. The source says he's really depressed and acted all standoffish at Garrison's memorial, so much so that Robyn had to nudge him to sit next to Janelle. But let's be honest, I'm sure Mykelti will keep leaking all the juicy details on her Patreon for a price classic. To be fair, this source didn't really reveal anything groundbreaking. I mean, we all knew Janelle was probably done a long time ago, right? And the whole checking in with her kids more often? Yeah, totally makes sense. She's always been the stable, reliable one. And honestly, I can't blame her. Moving from Vegas to Flagstaff was a huge adjustment, and having to constantly bend to Kody's whims probably didn't help. Flagstaff is pretty. But I bet Janelle has some serious regrets about that move. If she could do it over again, I wouldn't be surprised if she told Kody and Robyn to go ahead while she stayed back with her kids and wrapped up school. Let's be real, Janelle is the whole package, loyal wife, loving mom, and a hard-working professional who doesn't mind putting in a full day's work. Too bad Kody never saw it. He was too busy being Kody to appreciate what a great partner she was. Honestly, he's so single-minded, and let's be honest, pretty stupid that he couldn't even see what he had in her. The most telling thing for me, the fact that Janelle and Kody didn't sit together at Garrison's memorial. Instead, Janelle had one of her sons next to her, and Kody was off with Robyn. If you can't even sit next to each other at a memorial for your own child, it's pretty clear there's nothing left between you. Wow, the idea of Mykelti being assigned as Robyn's nanny is truly a bombshell. I can't believe I've never heard about this before. And after doing a search on the subreddit, it looks like there isn't a whole lot of discussion about it either. I'm watching through the series for the first time, and when I came across a comment mentioning Mykelti being Robyn's nanny during the courtship, I had to take a double take. Then I found this grainy video of Mykelti talking about how, When she lived in Street George, she'd get Robin's kids up in the morning, make breakfast, and put them on the bus. So, oh wait, was my Keely not enrolled in school at this point? That doesn't seem to be something we ever really heard about in the early seasons. The only thing I remember is Aspen and Maddie occasionally going over to Robin's house to babysit while Kody and Robyn went off on their romantic dates. This whole thing is wild to me, honestly. If this nanny arrangement is true, I just can't believe Christine was cool with it. And it makes me wonder if that's exactly what she was referring to when she said she wished she'd stood up for her kids more. What's even more perplexing is, has Robyn ever taken care of her own children? Or does she just delegate that out constantly? Because the more I learn about her, the more she comes across as entitled and honestly pretty lazy. I also realized something while reading through the thread. Mormons seem to have this weird norm where if a kid isn't being cooperative, they're quickly shipped off to stay with someone else. I did the same thing growing up. Honestly, I spent a ton of time at my grandparents' house when my mom needed a break, and I know my cousins did the same. It wasn't odd to us, it was just normal. So, seeing Gwen stay with Mary for a while, or my Kelly spending lots of time at Robin's place, is of a huge shock to me. It does seem like the daughters who had the most drama with their moms were also the ones who ended up staying somewhere else. More frequently, could this be a part of local Mormon culture? Maybe the dynamic is just different for the rest of the world. It's also been pretty clear from interviews that Maelty and Christine have had their struggles, and that Robyn was the first adult who really understood Maelty as a teen. She's mentioned before how growing up she often felt like the black sheep of the family, not just among the kids, but the adults too. It seems like Robyn stepped in during a time when Keely needed someone to be kind to her, which is interesting given everything else we know. But to me, it just feels like Robyn thrives off drama. She wanted to belong to a plural family for the endless opportunities it would create to stir the pot-build paranoia and somehow always emerge as the one who's in the right. Mike Kelty recently said something about how the moms didn't really raise each other's kids, even when they lived in Lehigh. She specifically mentioned Logan taking care of Janelle's kids. But honestly, I'm having a hard time believing that. I get that Logan played a big role when he was at home. But who was taking care of the younger kids who weren't in school? It seems like Mike Kelty's been minimizing Christine's role in all this, and I just don't get why she's doing that. So I'm at home today, recovering from an operation, and naturally, what better way to pass the time than by diving into some Sister Wives episodes I've never seen before. I ended up watching the one where Tony asks Kody for permission to marry Mike Kelty. And wow, 5 months of dating, and he's already popping the question. Let that sink in. 5 whole months. How romantic, right? Honestly, I was shocked. Like, how is that enough time to really know someone? Christine was completely on point when she suggested they hold off a little longer before getting engaged. I mean, what was the rush? And let's talk about Mykelti for a second. Maturity. Yeah, it's not exactly her strong suit, at least not yet. She's definitely not someone I describe as mature, and the older she gets, the more it seems like that growth is never coming. Then there's Tony, Mr. Mainstream Mormon, who apparently thought 5 months was like an eternity in their world. I get it. I was Mormon too, and I remember my own whirlwind romance. My husband and I knew each other for 6 months. And bam, I'm married. It's just how it goes. But seriously, 5 months is practically a lifetime in LDS culture. And let's be real. I think they were both in a huge rush to tie the knot, just to make things well official. I mean, Kody literally says, I get it, but come on. He wasn't even trying to hide the fact that the whole thing was moving fast, because we all know what was really on their minds. It reminds me of my Mormon cousins. One of them got married after a super short courtship, and they were so eager to get their hands on each other. They were late to the wedding reception because they were busy right after the sealing ceremony. Classic Mormon move, right? Was Robyn jealous of Christine? It's an interesting theory, and honestly, it kind of makes sense. Robyn's relationship with Kody and the family always seemed a little too strategic, right? Let's break it down. Christine has the family line, the connections, and let's not forget her standing in the church. Robyn, on the other hand, always seemed to hover just on the edges of that kind of, like she was trying to carve out her own spot sometimes by keeping Christine a little further away from that support and influence. Maybe that's why Robyn worked so hard to occupy Kody's time and energy, maybe even pushing for the family to move to Vegas and Flagstaff. Is it possible that she was trying to create distance between Christine and her community? Maybe even her spiritual authority could be. And honestly, Robyn's jealousy doesn't seem to stop at the big stuff. She's that person who gets envious over the most trivial things. I mean, remember after Yale's surgery, everyone's gathered around showing love and support because she just went through a major ordeal, and Robyn suddenly shifts the conversation to something completely random: how much height Yable's gained. Yep, height. Robyn can't help but make everything about competition. The kids, competitive; the moms, competitive, projecting much. But it's not just about the petty stuff. Robyn definitely seems jealous of Christine in a bigger way. I think that's why Robyn really targeted Christine as the bad sister wife, because Christine was the heart of the family, and Robyn wanted to be that she wanted to be the one everyone turned to, the one the kids came back to for holidays and family events. But when Christine left, the family pretty much followed her that move. It spoke volumes now. I get the vibe that Robyn's less about outright jealousy and more about insecurity. She's definitely a bit selfish, but in social situations, you can see those flashes of jealousy, especially when she's surrounded by people with a bit more personality or a more natural connection to the group. It's easy to see her feeling out of place, like a wet blanket among more lively personalities. The power dynamics at play here are tricky too. It's hard to figure out just how important the family's faith community was to them, especially since each group tends to have its own set of norms and power structures. Maybe if they'd stayed in Utah, Robyn wouldn't have had the level of control over Kody that she eventually managed to gain. Control is definitely something Robyn enjoys. Whether it's over people's situations or family dynamics, it's clear she's always trying to find ways to position herself at the center of everything. Let me know what you think in the comments. Don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe to my channel. I'll see you in the next video. Take care and much love to you all.